Off Work Sports with lock, loaded, ready, action, NBA championship time. It is game one tomorrow night. We get the Lakers versus Miami. LeBron's old Miami versus, Jimmy Butler's old 70s. I mean, it's all there. All these storylines can play out. All for the Big 24, Kobe Bryant. Then you got Miami Heat playing, their old comrade, Mr. LeBron James. It's pretty nuts out here. And now we get into the delves of the action and my predictions on who's going to do what, who's going to make what happen. Let me just be straight up with you. This is not going to be a walk in the park series. I warn you now, the teams are loaded on both sides. And I'll be honest, when I look at the Bucks now, what happened to them, what the Heat did to them, probably one of the best things that has happened to the NBA. We finally got a matchup that is pretty tight. Boston, hey, they were, I think, a scarier team because of Kemba Walker. He wasn't there. I'll do a video on that. And I'll do a video of the coaching staff not utilizing enough of their bench. I think some Taco Fall would have been fun in that Miami Heat series. But let's just jump into what we need to talk about for game one tomorrow. So, it is the first game. What are some of the key aspects or factors? We're going to get into the roster. And I just want to look at the players on the Heat side and see who we got as players, all right? So, first off, the number one guy who's going to have big all-around games is Jimmy Butler. We know this, right? That is their star, okay? Now, a couple guys that have come up, Splash Brothers Light, which is Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, these guys are going to have at least 10 to 15-point games between them, okay? That is the minimum. They need Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson to have 10 to 15 points per game, and that is each person. Either Duncan has 10 and Tyler has 15, or Duncan has 15 and Tyler has 10. That's going to be a necessity. If there's a game where they're lower, let's say Tyler scores 12, Duncan scores 7, that D better be on or they better have low minutes. That's the first warning, all right? Now, if they're evenly matched, I'm going to get into this in a second. Oh, Lord. I'm going to get into this in a second. Another friend. Another friend. They're killing me, man. They're killing me. So, if they're evenly matched, when I look at the squad, the first thing that comes to mind for me is Bam Adebayo. All right? Adebayo is a guy that can prove to be a difference maker out of Kentucky. I said this years ago when he came out. I said he was a steal. You know why? He has such a great game in the combine where he was able to utilize his handle. Okay, and I saw the handle. I said something's up there. There's more to this story than what we've seen, and he's certainly come through now, becoming an all-star. And I'm going to tell you something. Minus the jump shot from the three-point line, which Bam is starting to get, I think Bam Adebayo is a Anthony Davis light. This is probably the most fun matchup of this series is Bam versus AD. I can't wait. I can't stop. We will get to it and watch those two go at it. If they can X each other out, it makes it fun, all right? Now, guard play. Goran Dragic. Hey, former All-Star, former Phoenix Suns leader. What happens there, right? What happens with Goran? Can he come back? Can he reinvigorate the old All-Star-like skill set that he had years ago? He's another big X factor, another one that Rajon Rondo versus Dragic, how they play off each other. I mean, that's going to be key. All right, now we got Dalla. Dalla's there for LeBron. They're going to have Dalla and Crowder, Jay Crowder, right below. These two are there for Bron. Can they hold him off? I suggest they utilize a little bit of the Derrick Jones, but they have not yet. So Dalla, definitely. Dalla versus Crowder is something special. Now, let's go back over to the point guard position and the guy that has not played that was a regular season killer. Kedrick Nunn has been out of sight, great alien, never seen it right now. He's not coming through. Can they get Kedrick Nunn going on this team in order to facilitate some more wins? That would be the gameplay, bro. If they can get Kedrick going, that's what's up. Get him moving. I think that's a great move for the Miami Heat, and that would be another big X factor. Kedrick Nunn, can take over the points of maybe a Kuzma, where I'm trying to match these guys up. Myers Leonard just needs to be good defensively, needs to outplay Mr. JaVale McGee. All right, that's his matchup. Myers Leonard, JaVale McGee, even though he's not playing. Kelly Olynyk, that's another guy that you can match up. Maybe you put him in that Markieff Morris. I don't consider Caldwell Pope a starter. He's just right now he's a great defender, which is good enough. But Olynyk, can he come back healthy to help this team? Really nice matchup here, all right? Then you get to the bench and Solomon Hill, he doesn't play too much. You got Chris Silva, right? Chris Silva putting in some work. Can he come in any fashion? And then Kezi Okpala, the big, tall draft pick. Interesting. They may play this kid against LeBron just to give him a second look. I could see that happening. The Miami Heat have all the components, right? They really do. Solomon Hill had a very strong season with the Pelicans. See, I know my players. So you're not going to get me on the... If you don't know, don't comment, please, God. Well, actually, comment. That's fun. On it, let's see what you got. But Solomon Hill was a solid player with Pelicans. I think he can pull through some dividends. I know a lot of people were talking about why you throw him in there. He's not a bad player. When they lost James Johnson, I thought maybe he could fill in that role. And it would have been lovely to see James Johnson on this team. But they let him go to Minnesota. Now he's a free agent, but it would have been exciting to see him on his team. But I do like what I see. The height factor is going to be a problem. But they got Myers. They got Bammy. Maybe that can prove enough. Is there anyone else? Kelly Olynyk is another 7-footer. The biggest deal for me as these guys line up, what can Kedrick Nunn bring to the table for this team? They're going to need him. What kind of spark can they get from? What kind of defensive spark can they get from Derrick Jones? These are the key X factors that bring them over the hill, right? Can Kezi Okpala give you 2 or 3 minutes of burn? Can Solomon Hill give you a good 8 minutes? Okay, they need another X factor thrown in there. I think Nunn and Jones are the guys that can bring them over the hump and make this team pretty dangerous. However, it's a tough road. Let's just jump over to the Lakers side. So that's my first opinion on the Miami Heat and what they got, the X factors. Let's jump over to the LA Lakers, LA, big city of dreams, and figure out what they got. So when you look at the Lakers, this squad is a little bit different. They have the King James. They got Anthony Davis. We know those two are better than anybody on the Heat side, okay? Those two by themselves, just from if you doing an NBA Live and you do a rating, LeBron's like 94 now and Davis is like 96, 97. Jimmy Butler's like a 91, 90, right? Or maybe even an 89, right? But he's a big game player, so that's a big factor. Then you add on Caruso, who's having a tremendous role off the bench. Dwight Howard has found a starting role. Can Dwight Howard negate what we're seeing out of Adam Bayer? Does he still have enough speed? That's the interesting part. Rajon Rondo, right? The battle versus Dragic. Who's going to do better? Kyle Kuzma. Who's going to make up Kyle Kuzma? He's a potential third all-star. Don't really see what the Miami Heat have on their side to match a Kyle Kuzma if he's on. J.R. Smith is not playing it. Danny Green is a defensive animal right now. 3-point shots coming along, but it's been horrible from there. Caldwell Pope, horrible offensively, but another defensive acre. Good job there. Will we see Dion Waiters, return of Waiters on the Heat? Can he go at this a little bit differently and be able to provide some type of spark offensively off the bench? Hasn't played too much. We shall see. Kostas Otempokupo hasn't played. Avery Bradley is away. We continue down along the same lines. Markieff Morris is another guy, right? Markieff Morris, tremendous help to this team and an important factor. I love Vogel when he threw in Taylor Horton Torker what can he bring to the table if he's actually been thrown in there again? JaVale McGee needs to continue to play defensively, get rebounds, block shots, be the player that he is. Don't necessarily understand why they've totally taken him out of the lineup, but he's out of there, and Dwight Howard's playing a little bit more aggressiveness, a little bit of more emotionality there. So Quinn Cook barely plays, great three-point shooter. My opinion, Quinn Cook should lead this team. All right, they're not giving him enough burn, but hey, Quinn Cook's there if you need him for three-point shots, and he's solid. I will pick him in there. Jared Dudley, I don't know, and Devontae K. Cook had a tremendous summer league, strong player. Don't think he's going to get any playing time. But when you look at these rosters, they're pretty much evened out, except for the LeBron James and Anthony Davis factor. If they can get any of their guards going and Kyle Kuzma maybe to a 17 to 18 point clip, it gets pretty tough for the Miami Heat to beat this team because of the top two. So we shall see what happens. It's the NBA Finals. In my opinion, because of the two superstars, you have to go with consensus on this, even though the Miami Heat will put up a strong match. I got to go with AD and LeBron for the championship. This is all for 24. One of my favorite players, I'll say it again, Mr. Kobe Bryant. So congratulations as we watch the Lakers. I got a six-game series, 4-2. The Lakers take it, and that's how I have it. All four sports. It could go to 7. Yeah, I'm reneging. It could go to 7, depending on the Nunn's play and Derrick Jones and what they bring to the table and how off does Mr. Tyler Hero go? Like, how many shots is he really going to take? When he's off, and that's going to be a big factor. So I think LeBron, Davis are greater than Miami Heat's Butler, who's like the second guy. I don't really know what to say. I mean, you can say it's Dragic, right? I don't even Bam and Butler versus LeBron James and Davis. Just a tough matchup, and then the rest just goes downhill from there. Kyle Kuzma will probably be their third best player on that team. So pretty tough for me to say that the Lakers don't have a chance at a win. Anyhow, I'm going to sign off here, off work. I'm gone. Peace. LA, big city of dreams.